I'm running for Congress in Wyoming because I want to help my students. I'm a teacher at Northwest College, and students in Wyoming graduate from our community college system or our university, and they can't find professional jobs. They can't find career jobs, so they move out of the state. I'm running because I want to try to help those students stay in the state. That's where my priority is. And then on a personal level, I had an internship with Congressman Steve Largent in Washington, D.C. when I was in college. He was a hero of mine when I grew up in Seattle, and it was a great experience, and ever since that time I knew I was going to run for Congress.
Now, you say on your website you are not a career politician. In what way do you think that could either be an advantage or a disadvantage in this race?
I think it's a great advantage. As a professor, I've met thousands of students and their families from across the state. I know people from every community in the state, from every county in Wyoming, all 23 counties. My skills as a professor are that I listen to people, I build consensus, I'm open-minded to ideas, I solve problems. I think those skills and my ability to know people across the state is just going to transition very easily into this role.
What kind of issues would you like to be brought to Washington, D.C. for the state of Wyoming?
Yeah, for Wyoming there's quite a few priorities. One big priority right now is the coal industry. The coal industry is going through a rough time, and I think it's going to get worse in the near future. We need to support the coal industry. We need to pursue more opportunities for clean coal technology. We need to reverse Obama's moratorium on coal, and we need to try to build a coal terminal in Washington state. I think those are all very possible. I think those are all problems we can solve, and if we start that conversation now, we can pursue those opportunities while coal is in a downturn and be ready when the price of coal comes up and the demand for coal returns.
Do you think there's also room for renewable energy sources?
There is room for renewable energy resources. My big hope, and I think this is very practical, is if we have really strong mineral resource industries and the price of coal, oil, and natural gas are high, those mineral resources can fund renewable energy. I don't think renewable energy will be practical on its own. In our state, in Wyoming, it doesn't offer the type of revenue stream that mineral resources does, and so we need to use mineral resources as our foundation, and then we can build renewable energy resources as an add-on. I think that's the only way it'll work.
We talked a lot about coal and renewable energy sources. Is there any other issues that need to be brought to Washington, D.C.'s attention for the state of Wyoming?
For the state of Wyoming, one big issue that's always important to the people is Second Amendment rights. Wyoming has more gun owners, more guns per person than any other state in the country. We have a strong tradition with guns. We own guns, we're educated about guns, and we pass that tradition on to our children and our friends. As a representative, I will always support Second Amendment rights 100%. For our state, that's very important, and that's an issue that people have been very vocal about with me, and that as a representative, I would be supportive of 100%.
Are there any other issues that you wanted to bring up? Anything else that you wanted to add?
I think for our state, in the near future, we need to worry about creating jobs. That means diversifying our economy. We need to bolster the tourism and recreation industries. We need to look at building new industries in the state, perhaps bringing in new companies. And we also need to make sure that the mineral resource industries are stabilized. If we do those things, we will have a strong future. I think that's a very practical path and a very exciting path. I'm the most optimistic person of all time, and I think we can start working on those right away.
So you talked about some of the different places that you lived. You've settled in Wyoming. Why Wyoming?
I wanted to live in a small town because I like the peace of a small town. I love Yellowstone National Park and hiking and being in nature. And I really wanted to work in an education system that I admired. Wyoming has the very best education system in the country. Our K through 12 is excellent, our community college system is excellent, and our university is excellent. We're also a small state, so we have great control over those education systems. I'm a big proponent of keeping education under control at a state level, not a federal level. and we do a great job with that. And all those draws were very attractive to me, and Wyoming has been a great place for me. I love my community in Powell, Wyoming. My life is fully invested there. I live there, I work there, I pay taxes there. The community has been very supportive of me on a personal level, really changed my life. And I'm happy to try to give back in this way in running for Congress.